Imagine answering a question with complete confidence, then realizing you are completely wrong. Before you can recover, blood rushes into your cheeks, your face becomes warmer, and the evidence appears exactly where everyone can see it. You did not authorize this message. You cannot erase it. And the harder you try to hide it, the stronger it may become. This is blushing, a biological reaction that announces the exact thing you would most like to conceal, which creates an evolutionary mystery. Natural selection often rewards animals that hide weakness, fear, and uncertainty. Yet, humans evolved a face that sometimes broadcasts all three. Why would evolution build a lie detector into the liar? Charles Darwin called blushing the most peculiar and the most human of all expressions. Its unusual trigger is the belief that another mind is evaluating you. You can blush after making a mistake. You can blush when somebody praises you. You can blush when an attractive person looks at you. You can even blush while completely alone because you remembered something embarrassing from 12 years ago. No audience is physically present, but your brain creates one. To understand why, imagine a small human group tens of thousands of years ago. No supermarket, no hospital, no police, no emergency number. Survival depended on cooperation. Exclusion was not merely loneliness. It could mean losing food, protection, knowledge, and shelter all at once. Your ancestors therefore needed a nervous system that treated damage to reputation like physical danger. Your modern audience sees a spilled drink. Your ancient nervous system sees the edge of the camp. But humans make mistakes constantly. If every mistake permanently destroyed trust, cooperation would collapse. Groups needed to distinguish a dangerous rule breaker from a valuable member who recognized a mistake. The blush may have helped. Words are cheap. A thief can say, "I'm sorry." A liar can say, "I feel terrible." A manipulator can perform the correct expression. But most people cannot deliberately produce a genuine blush. And once it begins, they cannot reliably stop it. That makes blushing a potential honest signal. Not honest because the blusher is necessarily innocent, but because the body reveals that social judgment matters to them. The message is not, "I did nothing wrong." The message is, "I know you saw it. Your opinion has entered my nervous system." A blush begins when attention lands on you. Before you can prepare a statement, facial blood vessels widen and blood flow increases near the surface. The threat is not a predator. It is an interpretation. They noticed. They know. In seconds, an idea about other minds becomes a physical color. Blushing is social meaning converted into blood flow. Imagine two people accidentally breaking a valuable vase. The first shrugs and says, "These things happen." The second freezes, looks down, blushes, apologizes, and starts collecting the pieces. Both caused identical damage, but they do not feel identical. The first person's calmness creates uncertainty. The second person's discomfort suggests that the mistake violated the identity they wanted to present. Research supports this general pattern. People who display embarrassment are often judged as more pro-social, and observers may become more willing to trust them. But blushing does not prove innocence. Guilty people blush. Innocent people blush. Shy people blush when nothing happened. A blush is not a courtroom verdict. It is evidence of arousal and social exposure. A smoke alarm can save your house and still scream because you burned the toast. And here is where the theory becomes stranger. People also blush when praised. Praise elevates your status. A modest blush may soften the moment by communicating, "I hear the praise, but I am not placing myself above the group." Romantic blushing may reveal attraction without an explicit declaration. It opens a door while leaving room to retreat. Across mistakes, praise, and attraction, the common trigger is not guilt. It is unwanted social exposure. This also explains how you can blush alone. Human brains predict what others might think and reconstruct what they probably thought. Once the group's judgment is installed inside your mind, the group no longer needs to be physically present. The guard becomes internal. Civilization can leave the room and still watch you. Sometimes this system becomes a trap. Suppose you fear blushing during a presentation. You monitor your face. That self-focus increases anxiety and blood flow. Now you detect real warmth, producing more anxiety. The alarm begins listening to itself. A system that may have evolved to preserve social bonds can now make people avoid them. So why did humans evolve blushing? Probably not for one reason. Social attention triggers arousal. Facial blood vessels make it visible. Observers may interpret embarrassment as evidence that a person cares about social rules. That can reduce hostility and help restore trust. We cannot know the exact evolutionary path because blushing leaves no fossil. We can find a cut mark on a bone, but not red cheeks on a skeleton. But the central message is clear. The blush does not necessarily say, "I am guilty." It says, "I know I am visible. I care what this means." You probably experience blushing as the moment your social mask fails. Evolution may have preserved it, because that failure makes the mask more believable. The blush is embarrassing because it reveals vulnerability. And it may be socially useful for exactly the same reason. So the next time your cheeks begin to burn, your body may not be betraying you. It may be performing an ancient negotiation. I know you can see me. I know what happened matters. And I still want to remain inside the circle.